All right, well, let's get into some CeeDee Lamb here. We got CeeDee Lamb versus Iowa State to start it off. Let me turn this volume up a little bit here for these guys. You want to talk about a physical wide receiver? This is your guy. He's just a dog.
Who's this? Iowa State.
See, what I like here, if you go back to the start,
That's great.
People talk about his athleticism. Watch him burst off the line here. He's the first one off. Look how he's vertical right away. Are we worried about his speed? Really? That's what you need right there. You need burst.
Mm-hmm.
Goes up strong.
Yeah.
And that's so difficult to make that catch when the DB's fingertips are right there, blocking your view even of the ball at one point, possibly, to still be able to take that in around 3 defenders. And then to have enough awareness to realize where he was on the field and be able to turn up and get in the end zone there. That's just knowing where you're at and being able to make it.
Well, and he had to move. It was thrown behind him. He had to turn all the way around.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and protect the ball, too. That's what triple coverage, too. It freaking hurts.
Yeah.
Not a fan. You want to talk about a late processor of information? That's Jalen Hurts. Needs to be quicker with his process.
Yeah, he would sit back there for hours.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this should be good.
Yeah, after the catch.
So we talk about aggressiveness.
Oh, yeah,
Can you
just
go
going
back
forward.
But he catches it. He knows exactly where he's going to run. He's a plan. Before he catches this, I know where I'm going to attack. That's amazing.
As soon as he makes that guy miss, too, he's getting north and south.
And he knows exactly where I'm going.
It's good. Plays
And
angry.
that's not athleticism. That's just aggressive.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not really worried about CeeDee Lamb's speed, Nick. I think he's one of those guys that runs with pace, and he sells his routes a lot with good pace, I think. I don't think he's going to run the 4.4s, but I could definitely see 4.5, and it doesn't worry me.
Are you guys playing Lamb versus LSU? Yes, that will be the next game.
Yeah, we watching Lamb versus LSU next. Sorry, just repeat what you said.
You said it so much better, Jared.
Yeah. I just had to reinforce that.
Garrett, can you answer that question for everybody? They haven't heard it yet.
Which one?
The one about are we playing Lamb versus LSU?
Oh, yeah. So I think after this, since we had LSU for Jeudy, I think we'll do that for Lamb too. So that way, we can see both.
All right, Grant. Talk us through this release here. I can ducks that shoulder down.
Yeah, it works up. You just give a quick jab inside. I would like... Doesn't have too much space from the sideline.
It's a stop route, though, right?
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I'd rather him have more room.
If I could get the DB just a little bit more inside, I would like that a little bit more. Because it's tough with the alignment on the field, obviously. I'm not trying to knock him on that.
I feel like that's a pretty savvy move, though. I mean, for a younger guy in college to dip his shoulder like that to kind of avoid the hands of the DB.
Oh, yeah. And you see a guy who I would compare him to, I know we're not to that part yet, but DeAndre Hopkins, and you see him dip that shoulder all the time.
Yeah, I see a lot of people comparing him to DeAndre. Ooh, that should have been 6 the other way.
Yeah. Good route, though.
Again, hurts. Dropped the mic, I think. He dropped it back.
Yeah.
That's a tough read.
See, he gets off the ball so quick here.
Yep.
He actually gets.
That was a circus route. Do you call it a circus route, Grant?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he doesn't even get knocked off his route. I know we're talking about him being, underweight, but run that back. I mean, he gets shoved, doesn't even phase him.
Mm-hmm. That's why, I feel like he plays like he's 210, 215.
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays much better.
He's got some sticky hands.
Wait, did he catch this?
Yeah.
Oh, he's in
Oh,
deflection. Oh, what?
He tries to score, too. It's funny. He's like, I'm out.
That's aggressiveness.
Yeah, it's great concentration.
I still love that play where there was those 4 guys and he still scored. I know it was terrible defense by Texas. But
Texas, yeah.
So I think what I love about Lamb and why he's number 1 for me is I think his floor, like, you know what you're getting with him. His floor is so high. I don't think there's much room for failure with him.
Mm-hmm. And like the one thing that worries me with Jeudy, like we love his route running and stuff, but he doesn't have another ace in his hole besides that. He doesn't win above the rim. His after the reception, he can make guys miss, but again, he tries to avoid. He's not overly physical. You know what I mean? He doesn't have those boxes that Lamb checks. Where, like, if we look at like Brandon Cooks, right? I know he has injuries now, but he started to kind of falter and not be elite because teams could press him and he couldn't get off the line of scrimmage. And so, you know, but we didn't know that coming out. We thought he was this amazing prospect. And it's like he needed something else in his repertoire. And that's what I'm afraid of with Jeudy. That's kind of what you're talking about, Garrett. Like, he is not as high of a floor.
Yeah. Now, on the flip side, you know, and this is a little bit narrative driven, but I do think it's worth.
Man, this
Let's wait for this play there. I'll talk about it. Too good.
Hands catch.
Forward,
But
miss.
he just sees a bigger play and he's just going for it. I love it.
Yeah, he's just a playmaker.
Switches on. Oh. Cuts inside to score. Oh,
Puts his head down.
sexy. That whole play.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna replay it. I'll let it run.
Do we want to take into account at all that for the most part, week in, week out, CeeDee was going against Big 12 DBs and Jeudy was going against SEC DBs? Does that play a role at all in this for you? Or is it just, you know what, he did the best against the competition that he could. I'm not going to worry too much about it.
I mean, it's definitely a discussion.
What do you think, Grant?
I think, I think that plays a factor personally, because I think the space that Judy's able to get against a higher caliber of a DB, I mean, when you look at it, it's more space than CeeDee Lamb's get. When you're thinking about it, just route running, when you're breaking it down just route running wise, he's getting more space than CeeDee Lamb was against Big 12 DBs. So I'm curious to see the film on him versus LSU. I really haven't. I really haven't watched that, so it'll be interesting for me to see.
I'm gonna whip out the blue light glasses here, guys.
I mean, to me, I don't think it matters because I don't see Jeudy playing some other team being super physical out of nowhere or high pointing the ball out of nowhere. Like, he's not doing those other things. I agree with you. He's getting the separation against some of the best guys, which is great. But we already knew he could do that. I wanted to see him do other things that he's not cutting all the way across the field like Lamb was doing, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
And if anything, I don't think it would knock Jeudy at all. It's just, would it lower CeeDee closer to where Judy's at? Because, I mean, Jeudy, we know roughly, I mean, that's the closest thing to NFL DBs that we're going to get in the college level. Whereas, you know, Lamb, we're not quite sure. So it wouldn't, I don't think it would necessarily take anything away from Jeudy. It's just, would it put them CeeDee slightly lower and Jeudy with him closer? Or, you know, would you still have it pretty far separated? I still have them in separate tiers, very narrowly, but I do have them in separate tiers.
It's a great route that he just ran. Yeah, no indicator. Everything's vertical. Gets the DB in the back pedal.
He kind of aimed a little inside to leave himself room, too.
Yep. I love that route. Hurd needs to get him the freaking ball.
No wasted steps either.
Man, that'd have been good. I think, it's a tough catch, too.
Yeah.
Not a bad throw, though. Not bad.
Oh, he got held. He was getting pulled.
Yeah.
He
still should have caught it.
Yeah, he should have caught it. At least he went up for it. Jeudy ain't going for that.
And he usually will make that catch, whereas with Jeudy, I wouldn't expect him to make that catch. They're two different receivers too. different types.
Sure.
How fast do you expect him to run at the combine?
4.55.
I think he's going to surprise people. I think he's going to run a little bit faster than we expect. I'm going to say he dips at a 4.49.
They said, "What a 4.6 hurt him." To me, it doesn't matter. Like you watch him, you see the speed. It's not like he's going to be Deronnie Wilson and run like a 4.8. You know, like that would be the only thing that would drop him like a rock.
Yeah. He is who he is. Dude, I don't really get into the 40-yard dashes too much unless it's like a crazy outlier, you know, like Elijah Holyfield ran a 4.8 or whatever he did.
Yeah, little Jordan Humphrey killed himself last year because of that. But we talked about it on here. The combine doesn't, for the most part, shouldn't really be elevating too many people. It's really just an opportunity to exclude some people.
Can you go back here?
Look at this
Go back to the start.
2 blocks.
I'm
sorry, is this the right play? Okay.
The next play after this. Grant, can you tell that this next play is wrong? Look how wide he is. He's 2 yards from the sideline.
Yeah, what do you think?
I love those. We do those in high school all the time. Get wider, wider. In the corners, like over the top, like what are you?
Yeah, they still come out and cover you.
Yeah, Grant knows how he does high school.
Yeah.
Like it's the funniest thing ever. It's a run.
Watch, he picks up. He blocks 2 guys on this play.
Oh, then he flexes, right?
You gotta love that.
Oh.
See, Brooks.
Kennedy Brooks did the opie-dope. Oh.
Little Lamar Jackson in high school.
And then you gotta stop at the goal line or walk in.
Yeah.
I know that video is so sick.
There he is again.
Yep.
Oh.
Tuck that ball, young man.
That's all right. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah,
That's all that aggressiveness. Love it.
Yeah, but he's always, as soon as he gets the ball, man, he's going.
So in terms of a comp, guys, I'm thinking Azar Akeem, right? I mean, keep the Ram thing going.
You did mention Brandon Cooks just a little bit ago too. Was that even intentional?
No, I'm not even messing with
secretly
it
love
anymore.
the Rams.
Dude, I don't even know who D. Runya Wilson is.
Ricky Prohl, can I bring him out?
Oh my gosh, man.
Dude, this
I don't know
is
what
so
to do with
Ricky
you.
Prohl.
I
here.
really don't know what to do with you. Pretty soon he's going to be running out of skill position players and just like, you remember James Laurinaitis? He's got a little James Laurinaitis.
Rich says the only thing that would get Lamb lower than Jeudy is a game of limbo.
Oh man. But for real, what is your comp here? Mine is Devontae Adams.
I like that.
That was mine as well. Yep, that was mine as well. What about you, Jared?
So mine's a bit different.
I remember yours. Yeah, yours is interesting.
I don't know, man. He reminds me of Jarvis Landry. I know a little bit different as far as like body type and stuff, but they remind me a lot of each other after the catch. Their physicality. I don't think Lamb goes up above the rim like a lot of people say he does and plays above the rim as much. I just think that he's a good route runner, good after the catch, physical player. That's why I comp him to Landry.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, that wouldn't be my comp, but for the reasons you're saying, I understand it.
Yeah, and Lamb's not the fastest guy. He's definitely faster than Landry, but that plays into it a little bit as well.
He's faster than Adams too, in my opinion. Adams is like a 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I like the Adams comp too.
Well, there's something after the catch.
Is your Grant thinking Hopkins?
Yeah. Hopkins. Yeah. I like Adams. I like that comparison. I think you know what you're gonna get with him too.
Ooh, look at that
Dude,
double
he
block.
just wants it. He just wants
Look at
to
his
knock
block
your
on
shit out.
safety.
Come here, little boy.
I like that. You don't see Jeudy doing that against
No.
LSU.
Like he wants to hit you.
Jeudy would yell, "Watch out!"
Dude, he's a Texas high school legend too. CeeDee Lamb.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that's where he went.
Yeah, he's from Texas.
Ooh,
I forget
where
how many
physicality
touchdowns he
comes from.
scored in high school, but
God, he has all day.
yeah, he does.
Well, it's
Pass
also nice here.
incomplete.
CeeDee's in the slot a little bit too, you know, so versatile.
Yeah.
Oh, Isaac Bruce. Yeah, I'm gonna hold that one for another day.
So anything here, guys? I mean, just this over route.
Yeah, but I like how he squared that off.
Yeah, keeps working with the quarterback.
Yeah, like you were saying earlier, like what you want to look for. He definitely makes everything look the same.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts, like, if it's not the first read, it's not happening. Like, it's
Run
always the
around.
first guy.
And like everyone was saying early in the year when he was putting up all these numbers in college football, like, oh, Lamar Jackson paved the way. But like, dude, there's only one Lamar Jackson. Like, he's not Lamar Jackson.
And
Not
Lamar's
even
numbers are going to
close.
regress next year too.
Hurts isn't going to do anything in the NFL.
Here you go.
You heard it here.
Separation, a late push off here, body control, tracking.
Love it.
Unbelievable play.
Late hands.
Yep.
Not going up too early.
I'm sure they'll show it again here. Man, he tracks the ball and he can catch it in traffic, dude. He's going to make plays for you.
I love that you mentioned the late hands there. That was something. Now, granted, it hasn't panned out at all for me yet, but that was something that J.J. Arcega-Whiteside did really, really well in college. Was those late hands? And you want to see that out of a guy that's going to be a contested catch guy.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So I'm glad you brought that up.
Can you go back here?
Devontae Adams is
all the
great
way
at that too.
Yeah, just stop here. So one thing that's interesting here. So when he gets vertical, he gets past this DB, he looks for the ball, and then puts his head forward to get more speed, runs, dips into the DB, then locates again. Watch this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like,
Ball
That's
tracking.
absurd
Confidence.
concentration.
Yeah, I know. He's got a lot of confidence with the ball in the air.
like that's insane. Like knowing the ball's going to be in there is like, nope, I have to run faster and dip into this DB
And
or I'm
like,
not going to get it.
Does
Yeah.
he purposely roll over here to protect the football then at the end? Just to finish it off?
Yeah, I think a lot of wide receivers do that now.
Yeah,
So that way the ball doesn't get jarred loose.
I mean, is that something you coach your wide receivers to do?
Not really. Honestly, no.
No.
I don't. Yeah, I honestly I don't really coach that, but maybe I should.
I feel like
'Cause
that's
that's
like
because
next
it is-
level, maybe. You know, like what level?
Yeah,
are
no,
you
yeah,
coaching?
but just high school right now. But
Yeah.
no, I could definitely incorporate that.
Because they don't have enough to work on, right?
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
mean. Like,
Yeah.
you probably just getting the important stuff out of the way first.
Yeah, it's detail. There's detail, but I like details good.
Which foot's
You
on
don't-
the line, which one's off the line. That's a big thing for me. Be consistent.
God, you don't see Jeudy doing that against LSU's corners.
No. Wide receivers blocking, man. They spring those big plays. Wide receivers blocking downfield.
God, he loves running around back there. Shit.
If you go, I mean, this is 2 plays ago, but I mean, he worked his way outside. It's that play, just the start of it. Watch him walk outside, then to come inside of that DB. See right there?
Hmm.
You can just tell, like he widened in.
Widens
There's a plan to be successful. The DB turned his hips, and boom, he's inside. I don't know, we're gonna see the end of it, but
Yeah, Silver Sports says he got 2,000 plus yards and 33 touchdowns as a senior.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
33 touchdowns. That's an incredible career.
Right?
Yeah.
That's more than I
Quarterback
threw
threw
my
34.
senior year.
I was wondering what they're doing here. They got trips into the boundary. I'm like, what is this? And it's a trick play. That makes sense.
Trickeration.
Look at him. Then he blocks after he pitches it.
I know, man. He's a football player.
Oh.
Like my coach in high school used to always say, "Be a football player." It took me a while to figure out what the hell he's talking about. I'm like, "Coach, I'm playing football. Like, what do you mean?"
I
Like,
signed my waiver. Does that count?
yeah.
Jared, I want you to hand the ball off and then go block somebody.
No, they didn't want me doing that.
So guys, tell me if I'm a little bit crazy, because we've mentioned it several times with both of these players and their weight. I don't think CeeDee looks as lean and slight as Jeudy does. Is that just me? I don't know.
No, I mean, I think that plays into the physicality thing we've been talking about. It's just he plays bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like that play right there. And sorry, I'll answer your question in a second, Garrett. But he caught it, immediately spun to get away from that DB, and then got caught from behind. But that guy was already running. He had to start running, which talks to some of his explosiveness. I think he's 200 pounds, and that's good enough for me.
What is his official weight right now? Well, I guess we'll find out in a week. But
yeah, I'd say we're about to find out.
What I think he's going to do, and some other ones, he's going to bulk up.
Wish we had the all 22, man.
And then he's not going to run, and then he'll run at his pro day.
And then he'll run at his pro day. Yeah. Makes
Time
sense.
to get weight on.
Benjamin needs to do that too.
We didn't get to see the route too much there, but looked like he had a lot of separation.
Utter disrespect to T.
Did he
Higgins.
drop it?
I don't know if it hit his hands or not. Great route, though.
Yeah, off the line. Get him bite on that third step. Yeah, you gotta have that.
Come on, Hurts. He's wide open, bro. I could have hit that.
Put me in, coach.
I mean, look at that, dude.
Jared, to be honest, you're probably a better passer than Hurts is.
Yeah.
That's probably
I mean,
true.
I guarantee
Out
you
of
I
shape
was.
at the age of 30, you probably are still.
He's got his guard sitting in his lap, though. What's he doing?
Yeah, he really is all up in him.
It's a good route. Widens the DB.
Yeah, that
great
third.
route.
Yeah. God dang, gotta have that.
DJ Jeudy asks, who is leaner, Higgins or Lamb? I don't know. That's a
I
good
think
question.
Lamb is leaner.
You think so?
Yeah.
Maybe by a tad. But both, we don't have any of those like guys that look like Julio. And granted,
look
not
at
many
that.
people do.
That's a good
A
block.
crack block?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Boom.
Yeah,
I mean,
these are
it
much
depends. I mean,
go ahead.
is Lamb 6'2" and is Higgins 6'4"? That's going to matter.
6'4". Yeah.
That's what we think. But
They
that'll matter.
they all seem to have more of the AJ Green body types than they do the Julio Jones.
Rich asks, if you need a wide receiver, are you okay going with Lamb 101?
Yep.
I am. I think you know what you're getting, and I don't think there's much room for failure.
I'm always value based, best player available, and I still think the running backs are the best players available. So I would still be going Swift or Dobbins, and then you make a trade. You either trade out of that 1-1 if you really want Lamb, or you make a trade after the draft. But
Yeah, talk to me after the draft. We know where these guys are at.
but yeah, I'm still going Lamb I'm still going Dobbins or Swift.
Now that's with the thought process that you can trade for a receiver later, right?
You could even trade on draft day if you're like, you know what, I think CeeDee will be there at 2 or 3. I'll trade back a couple picks. There'll be no shortage of people that want to jump up and get those running backs.
Come on, Hurts.
And if not, just take the best player available. I'm always to a fault best player available.
Yes.
We got a couple minutes left in this game here. I'd love to see him come down with that.
Is that Fulton that's on him there?
Yeah. I'm not a huge on Fulton. I know he's projected first round, right?
Yep.
It's a good play there, though.
Another angle on
Yeah,
that.
good defense.
This is Stingley.
Who's a beast.
Yeah, he's going to be really good. He already is really good.
I know.
And he will continue to get better.
Ooh, little whip
It's a
route.
good route. Getting forward.
See, I just like that fight a little bit. I mean, this game's over. He's just like,
Yep.
screw you.
Yeah.
Stiff arm to the face mask. Not as good of a whip route as Beasley, though.
Yeah, but he gets his chin down there.
Yeah, 2 steps, 1, 2. No indicator either. He doesn't slow his speed on the slant. There's a good angle. Nothing, just riding on a dime. That's such good body control. I don't think he gets enough credit for his routes.
Yeah. They don't look as sexy as Jeudy's.
Yeah, he's not as explosive, but I think he still gets it done.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I mean, he wouldn't be where he is if he didn't get it done.
He had ridiculous stats this year. Did he win the Biletnikoff?
No, Jamar Chase did. But did he win it the year before?
No, the Jeudy.
One of the year before.
Jeudy did, yeah. Yeah, Chase had 1,700 yards and 20 touchdowns.
I think he's overrated.
You do?
Yeah.
I
People
don't.
think he's the next
think
whatever.
he's a
But
stud.
LSU schemed. I mean, Jefferson was unbelievable, too. What makes Chase way better, then?
Chase is way better than Jefferson.
Great scheme there.
You see rewind it to that last one? You see this release that he works? The one right after this one, I think. So you said he kind of gives him that slide and then kicks up into second gear and takes him outside. He's open right there. If Hurd gets his ball out right now, you got the safety over the top, but let's say it was man.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time they've been working, he's been blocking or he's been, just in charge of running this guy off. He's been working this slide release.
Yeah.
And it finally got this DB to stay inside, right? That's how it shows everything's just a setup that he does. He's pretty strategic with what he does off the line because he's been baiting him. And finally that DB's just sitting inside because he doesn't want to get beat obviously on like a slant or just letting him cross his face. And then he finally takes it up vertical. It shows that he's got, like you said, he's got a plan.
Yeah. That's a great point. I mean, that just kind of goes to show you how every single play matters, and every single play you're setting the guy up for the next one. Like sometimes guys will, just because it's a run, they're not going full go.
Exactly. They just jog or just half-ass it. It's not good for the home team.
No, that's rare. He's had a couple drops in this game.
He has this. This is the difference that I see, though. Whoops, as I bumped my mic. This seems to be a concentration drop to me. I think he was already looking upfield, trying to think about what he was doing next, whereas most of Jeudy's were footsteps, and that seems to be the difference for me. I'm not saying concentration drops are like, oh yeah, they're fine, don't worry about it. But I do think it's I do think it's a difference.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, just looking up too soon.
Yep. All right, well that wraps it up for these two guys. Final thoughts on Lamb.
Lamb 1, Jeudy 2.
I agree. I mean, Lamb is who we thought he is. Not really concerned with his athleticism like some people like to bring up. He's just a dog, dude. He's my wide receiver one still, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think going into this, I had Jeudy a little bit higher, but after watching, because CeeDee Lamb, I haven't really broken down as detailed as we did and really watch what other than when, like the plays where he doesn't have the ball and where he's just blocking and him just always having a plan. CeeDee Lamb is, I think, a clear number one.